Hey there, cats and kittens, and welcome back to another episode of the MonkeyBoy Presents DC Comics Superhero Collection by Eaglemoss. And today I'm very excited to bring you issue number 35 in the collection, Bizarro. And this is one of my favorite villains in all of DC continuity. I remember watching the old Super Friends cartoon show, and he would be on that from time to time, and I was always just totally in love with the character. He's such a sympathetic villain too, really. He's not really a bad guy either, that's the thing. He really deep down inside is a hero. He just doesn't know how to do it right. You know, he's just confused. Anyway, we'll cover all of that in the magazine, which will tell us pretty much everything we need to know about the character. And there have actually been a few different Bizarros. There hasn't just been one, and this will cover all of those real fast. Then we'll take a look at the figure itself, giving you the good, the bad, the ugly. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy issue number 35 of the DC Comics Superhero Collection by Eaglemoss, Bizarro. First up, we have the character section. It's here that we learn there have been a total of at least 3 different Bizarros. The very first one was a genetic experiment funded by Lex Luthor. Jump ahead a few more years, and Lex Luthor, undaunted by his previous failure, attempts to make another cloned Superman, resulting in the second Bizarro. Finally, we come to the current Bizarro, or the quote-unquote real Bizarro. This one, unlike the previous two, is not from some sort of genetic experiment or anything like that. He was actually created by the Joker when the Joker temporarily had the powers of Mr. Mizziek Spitlick. After Batman and Superman escape Joker's world, they find Bizarro is still with them, and now on Earth. And this Bizarro, though, isn't really a bad guy. He wants to be a hero. He longs to be a hero. He actually even went out and fought a couple of supervillains while he was here. Unfortunately, while on Earth, though, he was exposed to a Kryptonian virus that infected him and caused him to lash out at everything. Superman healed him, but feeling so guilty about the incident, Bizarro left the Earth and floated off into space. A few months later, Batman and Superman had reteamed and found themselves in another dimension where they encountered Bizarro again, but this time he was working with a partner as well named Batzarro. After helping Batman and Superman on their adventures, Bizarro returned to Earth with them in the hopes of continuing to do heroic deeds. The last couple pages bring us up to speed with Bizarro, at least at the time of this publication. We learn about an incident that caused him to feel guilt for the very first time. Shortly after this incident, he left the planet and created his own world that he called Bizarro World. Finally, we learn that Bizarro was feeling lost and alone even on his own world, so he returned to Earth and consulted with Jonathan Kent, Superman, and in a sense, his father. Next up, we take a look at some of Bizarro's classic stories. First up, Batman, Superman, Vengeance. And this is a really fun story where we find Bizarro teaming up with the new Bat-Zarro, and instead of a Batman-Superman team-up, it's a Bizarro-Bat-Zarro team-up. It's fun, it's interesting, it sees Supergirl making a special appearance at a point in the story, and it also continues to develop the idea that Bizarro isn't necessarily evil per se, he's just confused and sort of backwards in his thinking, and really deep down inside wants to be a hero just like Superman. And he proves this by, at one point in the story, saving Bat-Zarro's life. We also look at Superman, Escape from Bizarro World. And this is the story that finds Bizarro creating his own world where he can finally live and hopefully be at peace with people of his own kind. It also includes the part of the story where he finds he's not even really happy there, and he returns to Earth, kidnaps Jonathan Kent in order to seek his counsel because he looks to him as a father. It really delved even deeper into the character. It made him even more three-dimensional and very sympathetic in this story. And the artwork is absolutely stunning in this as well. It's a great story. Bizarro's Allies and Enemies section features a great shot of Superman. And finally, the Original Thinking section continues the DC timeline with Part 26, Crimes and Punishments. We learn that after Heracles is driven from Themyscira by the Amazons after his attempt to try and take it over, that Queen Hippolyta's sister, Antiope, decided to pursue Heracles and his army to slaughter them once and for all, despite Hippolyta's wishes against it. We also learn that Queen Hippolyta and the Amazons were punished for slaughtering so many of Heracles' men, even after they had surrendered. And for this, the gods placed Themyscira over the gateway to Hell, also known as Tartarus. Here we have Bizarro. Great figure, really outstanding figure, really sort of sympathetic character, not exactly a villain, not exactly a hero, just kind of misunderstood, I guess, in a sense. And I love the fact that the figure sort of conveys that, especially in the head sculpt. The face is really great. He has these sunken eyes, and then the eyes themselves are these really nice blue eyes. Really gorgeous details on the face. The look on his face is just sort of, I don't know, sort of sad looking, confused. I don't know how you would describe it exactly, but it works perfectly. I love that the hand on his right side here is sort of similar to Superman's with that upturned fist, and then the other one is just sort of hanging open like that. They actually did the fingers, which is just outstanding. And his feet are really nice too. He sort of looks like he's shambling, you know, almost zombie-like. Not that he's a zombie necessarily, but I just like the look. The cape is all tattered and torn up. I love the darker color scheme on him, too. He almost looks like he's wearing the suit that Superman has in Superman 3. If you've seen the Superman, Christopher Reeves films, in Superman 3 he kind of goes bad, sort of. he's wearing this deeper colored costume, and this is very reminiscent of it. The red is almost a purplish. A couple of minor things on this guy, but overall, he really is outstanding. Another really cool aspect of him is his little Bizarro medal that he made for himself. It's a separate piece. See that? Moving around, you can actually remove it from him as well if you don't want to have that. You can keep that tucked away somewhere and just have good old Bizarro like that. The symbol also is painted on, not a decal, so that's really great too, the fact that it's painted. So really, really wonderful figure overall. Very pleased with him. Some better pictures here in just a second. Bizarro stands atop the now classic DC logo, and the underside of the base features his name and serial number. Also a quick shot of him next to Lex Luthor. And we have to have a shot of him alongside Superman. This figure is yet another one in the Eaglemoss line that I feel is outstanding. It perfectly captures the essence of the character. It's a nice amalgamation of all the different versions of the character. It's great. I really love it when the Eaglemoss designers kind of do that. They borrow elements from a whole bunch of them and incorporate it into the design of the final statue. It's really nice. The sculpt, the pose, the paint application is really fantastic on this. I love the pasty whiteness of his skin. We'll start from head and work to foot, I guess, here. I really, really love the head sculpt, especially on this guy. It is fantastic. You can see the ridges in his brow. You can see the cleft in his chin. I love the sort of sympathetic frown on his face, and his eyes are gorgeous. They're sunken in a little bit. I love the deep shadow around them, and they're just this really nice sky blue color. They're beautiful, really. The hair is fantastic, unlike Superman's, which is perfect. It's all mussy and everywhere. It's not tapered in the back. It's a squared off, in the back. It's really, really nice. I also love the paint scheme on this guy. It's a much deeper blue than Superman's, and a much deeper red, almost a purplish kind of red, as you can see with the side-by-side of Superman. Also, really nice are his legs, the pose on the legs. Like I said, he kind of looks like he's shambling. It's a really nice touch, just to give him that, slightly askew kind of look. The details on the cape are fantastic. He has the S on the back like Superman. It's a reversed S. I like the tattered look on the cape. It's really, really cool. And the Bizarro #1 medal that he wears around his neck that's carved out of the stone is really well done, first of all. I love that it's removable, second of all. That's also a really, really nice touch. As you can see, you can take it off and you can set it next to him. He can actually kind of hold it in the one hand, or you can just put it in the package and leave it there if you don't want to risk it falling off or breaking off. And the symbol underneath is great too, because it's painted on, no decals yet again, and it's a reverse symbol. It's beautiful. It's really, really great. The hands are wonderful too. I love the clenched fist on the one, and then the fact that they detailed every finger on the other hand is really, really nice. Very hard to do. The bad. The only thing that I'm going to criticize on the figure, really, because the only thing I can criticize, is the symbol on the back. You can't really make it out very well, unlike Superman's, as you can see. Very defined, very easy to see. Bizarro's not so much, but that's the only complaint I have. Everything else about this guy is fantastic. The ugly. Again, the only thing to watch out for is the Bizarro #1 medal on his neck. It's a sort of thin metal lead wire that is the necklace part. That's sort of fragile if you bend it or something, so if you're going to take it off, be careful. Otherwise, he's pretty nice. The other hand, you get to watch the fingers, they could get mangled, but, it's a minor thing. Overall, this guy is really fantastic. If you're a Superman fan, you've got to have him. He's a must-have. He's a wonderful addition to the line. So glad they thought to make this character. Not too surprised, actually, but really glad they did. And I'm really glad you guys tuned in to check this review out. I hope you enjoyed it. Please stay tuned for a quick teaser of the next figure in the line. And this is a character I was completely astonished that they decided to make. I couldn't believe it when I saw that he was on the roster of figures to come out. And when I first saw him, I really didn't think I was going to dig him all that much. But I was pleasantly surprised, to be honest with you. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. Anyway, as always, I'm your host, the Monkey Boy, a.k.a. Jay to his friends. Thanks for watching.